Hi everyone, I'm Speedy from Magic Item Tech, and this is Game Development Video Log Episode 4. I'm settling on the format I used for the last entry because in my eyes it turned out to be the most enjoyable video so far, and recording it was pretty smooth. So from now on, going for condensed and scripted logs, fully focusing on showcasing the features and the development process behind my games. This entry's agenda is the item system in Am Overburdened, which became pretty sophisticated, especially compared to the size of the game, and difficulty management. This whole topic turned out to be pretty lengthy and technical. Sorry about that. I hope Science Cat approves. It has always been the plan to have a vast and diverse set of unique items in the game, still planning to have around 100. Since no leveling will take place, the player will have to risk collecting as much loot as possible during the journey and focus on customizing the playstyle by carefully picking which items to wear. So the technology behind the item system had to be solid and flexible to support a great number of skills and excessive customization of the loot, and to allow lightning fast iteration, since creating and balancing this many treasures takes a significant amount of time. I started out with adding attribute bonuses to the items. As you can see, picking up loot already grants modifiers to the RPG values. The enhanced attributes are rendered with yellow tinting as a hint at item influence. Configuring them is as straightforward as it can get. Adding the pictured snippet to the descriptor of an item in the loot configuration file will provide the given bonuses once the item is equipped by the player. A small tip for developers. I highly recommend calculating most of the final modifiers and attributes of character in RPGs every time one is needed. The more caching you introduce into these systems, the more groundwork you lay for pesky bugs to occur, so keep it low. Usually these calculations are pretty simple, and they will never be a performance hit, and hard-coded constant formulas are easy to follow. Now let's rip apart the skill system. For a high level of flexibility and to have a varied set of special skills, I implemented an event system as the backbone structure. It is simply a fancy name for an approach where specific pieces of logic can be run anytime something important happens in the game world. If you are interested in its implementation details, please check out my written blog entry. It even has code samples. So these logic pieces implement the generalized skills, and they can have a chance defined for them, so they may only take effect like 10% of the time an event occurs, as an example. An item can have a list of these skills listening for events when equipped by a creature. If you are already lost at this point, no worries, here goes a really simple explanation of the whole system in action. Some major events occurring in the game from time to time are like the player opening a chest, or picking up a treasure, or attacking a creature and defending against it. The item skills are notified about these occurrences and act upon them. A healing skill might heal the player for a fixed amount of points, an attribute skill may grant a bonus for the upcoming luck trial. A cripple skill can interrupt the targeted creature, disabling its ability to fight back. Some skills may reflect damage or heal based on the amount of damage inflicted in a fight. Using these skills, it is easy to define a sword which cripples the target monster attacked by the player with 20% chance, or a necklace which grants extra luck when picking up gold, so that more is found. Here is a footage of a play when the vampiric gloves is used to steal life from monsters when damaging them. This is an immensely versatile system to build items, so you can expect some fun and interesting artifacts to be found in the dungeons. I did not stop here. I added a tag system to the game to have the ability to categorize creatures like undead, demon, boss, etc. The skills can define tag requirements for the targets to be met before they can take effect. A creature meets a given requirement if it does not have any tags from its cannot have set and has all the tags from its must have set. It's as simple as that, and as you can see, some monsters in the game already have some tags. This tiny addition allows items and skills to be made which have real character. Some cool examples would be a life-stealing granting sword which does not work on undead, or a holy shield which grants enormous extra defense but only when attacked by a demon. This also allows to disable certain skills against bosses which could make them too overpowered otherwise. I'm still at the beginning when it comes to designing the concrete items, but with these systems in place, I'm sure I'll succeed in implementing interesting and fun artifacts. As closing words for the loot topic, Here's a rather complicated item description just to show how this is all put together in configuration files. I would like to talk a little bit about the other topic too. It's important to constantly introduce new content and to increase the difficulty curve, especially in a roguelike, so the player always finds a challenge while progressing deeper into the depths of a dungeon. For each level of the story, of which I'm currently planning to have around 30, a construct called Dungeon Profile specifies which tileset to use, what kind of monsters can be spawned, and what type of pickups, treasures, and chests can be placed. This profile data is read from asset files, and it is fed into the dungeon generator after constructing the layout for a level. This gives fine control over the length, the pacing, and the minute-to-minute difficulty changes of the game without modifying a single line of code. As you can see, last week was rather busy, though sadly I slipped a little and I am behind my schedules. The next step is to work on the original assets for the game, so the following entry will have some pretty sprites. You can follow or track the progress of the game on regular contacts. Please leave your comments, questions and critique below the video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.